Doris Day hated him, truly more than anyone else. She was born Doris Mary Ann Kappelhoff on April 3, 1922, in Cincinnati, Ohio. She grew up in a simple middle-class home during the hard years of the Great Depression. From a young age, Doris loved being on stage, but her dream wasn't Hollywood or music at first. It was dance. Dance was everything to her. She trained constantly, worked hard, and showed real talent. So much so that she and her partner even won local dance competitions. Then everything changed. A serious car accident shattered her leg and brought her dancing dreams to an abrupt end. But during her long recovery at home, something unexpected happened. With little else to do, Doris began singing along to the radio. That's when she discovered she had a natural voice, clear, effortless, and special. Friends and family encouraged her to keep singing. Soon, she was performing with local bands. It wasn't long before bandleader Barney Rapp noticed her talent. He suggested she change her last name to Day, inspired by her performance of the song Day After Day. That name would mark the beginning of a new life. In the mid-1940s, Doris joined the orchestra of Les Brown, one of the biggest band leaders of the swing era. In 1945, she recorded Sentimental Journey. The song became a hit and an anthem for soldiers returning home after World War II. Her voice was warm, clear, and emotionally honest. It stood out immediately. Sentimental Journey didn't just top the charts, it introduced America to a voice that brought comfort and hope when the country needed it most. Hollywood soon noticed. In 1948, Doris Day made her film debut in Romance on the High Seas. What began as a small acting role quickly turned into a major film career. Doris had something rare. She was beautiful but never distant, warm but never fake, funny in a way that felt natural, not forced. Audiences trusted her, they rooted for her, and many saw in Doris Day either themselves or the best version of who they hoped to be. Throughout the 1950s, Doris Day became one of Hollywood's biggest stars. She led a wide range of films, showing not just her singing, but also her dramatic and comedic talents. Her acting reached a peak with Love Me or Leave Me in 1955. She played singer Ruth Etting. The role proved she could do more than the cheerful girl next door image. Critics and audiences were surprised by her intensity and emotional depth. Doris never wanted to be stuck in one type of role. Hollywood often tried to cast her as the sweet, happy girl, but she kept breaking that mold. In 1956, she starred in Alfred Hitchcock's The Man Who Knew Too Much. There, she performed Que Sera, Sarah, Whatever Will Be, one of the most memorable moments of her career. The song won an Academy Award and became her signature. It was more than a song. It became a message about acceptance, hope, and life itself, reflecting Doris Day's own outlook. By the late 1950s and early 1960s, she was the queen of romantic comedies. Her on-screen pairings with Rock Hudson were immensely popular. Movies like Pillow Talk, 1959, Lover Come Back, 1961, and Send Me No Flowers, 1964, defined an era of smart, playful Hollywood romance. Doris's comedic timing was sharp, and her performances felt intelligent and natural. She gave her characters independence and wit, quietly challenging the social expectations of the time. Even while her roles followed the norms of the era, she added dignity, self-respect, and moral clarity. Her films were entertaining and meaningful. Outside of movies, Doris Day was a hugely successful singer. She recorded hundreds of songs in pop, jazz, and traditional styles. She remains one of the best-selling female artists ever. Her voice was pure, expressive, and direct. It had a timeless quality that made her songs last long after trends changed. Whether singing a tender ballad or a lively tune, she always conveyed real emotion, never fake or exaggerated. Doris's personal life was full of devotion, love, and heartbreak. Her marriages shaped her journey as a woman, a mother, and a Hollywood icon. Her first marriage came early. In 1941, young and just starting her rise to fame, she married trombonist Al Jordan. What began with hope and love quickly turned difficult. They had one child, a son named Terry, who became the heart of her life. But behind closed doors, the marriage was troubled. Jordan was abusive, and Doris faced fear and uncertainty during years that should have been joyful. She found the courage to leave in 1943, choosing safety and dignity for herself and her son. In 1946, Doris married again, this time to saxophonist George Wadler. The second marriage offered companionship and a fresh start, but her growing fame and busy career made it hard to sustain. As her name became known worldwide, the marriage began to falter. Fame put pressure on Doris Day, and so did personal differences in her relationships. Together, they became too much to handle. By 1949, her second marriage quietly ended. Doris was on her own again, facing life and love by herself. Her third marriage would be the most significant and the most complicated. In 1951, she married Martin Melcher. He was not only her husband, but also deeply involved in her professional world. Melcher adopted her son Terry, taking on the role of father. He produced many of her most successful films and helped build her image as America's sweetheart. They stayed married for 17 years. Those years were also the peak of her fame and career. But behind the success, the marriage was troubled. Later, it was revealed that Melcher had been controlling and had mismanaged her finances. When he died in 1968, Doris faced a painful reality. She discovered how much had been mishandled during their years together. Despite all this, Doris Day never stopped believing in love. In 1976, she married again, this time to restaurateur Barry Comden. It offered hope for companionship, away from Hollywood's relentless spotlight. But this marriage, too, didn't last. By 1981, it ended. Across 4 marriages, Doris Day experienced love, loss, betrayal, and endurance. Her romantic life was often turbulent, yet she emerged strong, devoted to her son, and graceful in facing life's challenges. For decades, Doris Day and Rock Hudson were the picture of Hollywood romance. In films like Pillow Talk, Lover Come Back, and Send Me No Flowers, they were charming, playful, and perfectly matched. But real life was more complicated. Behind the studio-made illusion, Doris's feelings for Hudson were layered with disappointment, anger, and a sense of betrayal she rarely spoke about publicly. "It wasn't what he was," she said later. "It was that everyone knew but me." To Doris, it was humiliating. She felt used, like a prop in a story carefully crafted to protect the studio's investment. The betrayal hurt deeply because Rock Hudson was not just a co-star. He was someone Doris thought she knew. "I trusted Rock," she admitted. "We spent years laughing, rehearsing, working side by side. I thought there was honesty between us." Finding out that the romance they sold to the world was fake made her feel manipulated. To Doris, it wasn't harmless movie magic. It was a violation of her personal integrity. Her resentment grew over time, especially as the public kept romanticizing their partnership. "People talked about us as if it were real," she said, "and I had to smile along with it, knowing it wasn't." That forced silence, another demand of the studio era, became its own kind of cruelty. Doris believed Hudson, protected by the system, never paid the price for the lie. She carried the emotional weight. When Hudson revealed his AIDS diagnosis in the 1980s, Doris felt conflicted. She supported AIDS research and showed compassion, but she didn't rush to rewrite history. "I was sorry for him," she said quietly, but that didn't erase what happened. Her words reflected a woman unwilling to let tragedy excuse years of deception. To Doris, sympathy did not mean forgetting. In private, she was even more direct. "I felt foolish," she admitted, "and I don't like being made a fool of." This explained why her feelings toward Hudson were so strong. It wasn't simple hatred. It was anger born from broken trust, realizing a cherished partnership had been shaped by secrets she never agreed to keep. Doris Day passed away peacefully on May 13, 2019, at her home in Carmel Valley, California, at the age of 97. The cause of death was pneumonia. It was a quiet ending for a life filled with music, laughter, grace, and unwavering spirit. Her passing was announced by the Doris Day Animal Foundation, the charity she had founded and nurtured for decades. It reflected how deeply compassion and advocacy for animals were part of who she was. True to her values, Doris made her wishes clear long before she died. No funeral services, no grave marker, no public memorials, no grand ceremonies or formal goodbyes, just the life she lived and the legacy she left behind. Instead, Doris chose simplicity and privacy. She wanted her life remembered, not through ceremonies, but through the joy she brought to millions, the kindness she showed to animals, and the timeless work she left behind. By declining public memorials, Doris gave one final, clear reminder of who she truly was, a deeply private woman, despite global fame, who believed love, laughter, and generosity mattered far more than monuments or ceremonies. Even without public gatherings, the world mourned her in its own way, through shared memories, beloved films, cherished songs, and heartfelt tributes from fans and fellow artists. Doris Day's legacy did not need a service or a marker to last. It lives on in the warmth of her performances, the purity of her voice, and the compassion she showed in her later years. Her passing was not an ending, it was a gentle farewell from an icon whose presence still resonates, reminding generations of a time when optimism, sincerity, and grace shone brightly on screen and beyond.